I am Arcana Vani, your inner voice. Let us begin. You've done it all. The vision board hanging above your desk, the affirmations on your bathroom mirror, the journal entries where you wrote it down 55 times, as if repetition could overwrite doubt. You've scripted your dream life, imagined the house, the body, the bank account. You've whispered, "I am abundant," while your chest tightened with fear. And yet, the life you want still hasn't arrived. This is the moment no one wants to admit. The quiet collapse after all the high vibe pretending. The realization that something isn't working, and maybe never did. What if I told you the real reason your manifestations aren't showing up is because they aren't actually yours? Let that settle. Because the truth is, most people are trying to manifest desires that were installed in them. Not chosen, not aligned, not real. From the moment you could speak, the world handed you a checklist of what should matter. Be successful, be wanted, be seen. And so your subconscious started to crave things it thought would earn you love. Money became safety. Fame became validation. Status became survival. You began chasing what looked like freedom, but felt like pressure. So, when you sat down to manifest, you weren't creating from truth. You were negotiating with old pain, begging reality to finally give you permission to feel okay. That's not manifestation. That's spiritualized desperation. And deep down, you know it. You feel it in the resistance, in the way you say the affirmation, and immediately feel a pang in your chest. In the way the visualization fades the moment your eyes open. In the way your mind screams, "This is a lie," even as you smile and say, "I am already there." Because part of you knows it's not your desire that's broken. It's the identity beneath it. So the question is no longer, how do I get what I want? The real question is, who is the I doing the wanting? And once you ask that, everything begins to unravel. The old desires peel away. The noise falls silent. The pressure lifts. What remains is quiet, strange, pure. And from that stillness, a new kind of wanting emerges. Not frantic, not performative, not manic with urgency, but clear, like a chime ringing in a vast canyon. You're about to discover that manifestation isn't about imagining a better future. It's about remembering who you already are and living from that. And when you do, you won't need to force reality, because reality will come find you. Keep watching, because what I'm about to show you will change everything you thought you knew about manifestation. You were told to focus on what you want, to visualize the dream, to raise your vibration and align with abundance. But here's what they didn't tell you. You're not manifesting from what you want. You're manifesting from who you believe you are. And those two things are rarely the same. Because underneath all the vision boards and affirmations lives an invisible engine, your identity. And that engine isn't running on dreams. It's running on programming. As a child, you absorbed rules without question. You learned that love might be earned through achievement, that approval could vanish with failure, that safety depended on staying small, quiet, obedient. And somewhere along the way, your subconscious formed a silent contract. If I stay unseen, I stay safe. If I never try, I never disappoint. If I don't shine, I won't be punished. So you grew up. You read the books. You tried to manifest your best life. But the engine was still running on old rules. You tried to visualize wealth, but part of you believed money turns people cold. You affirmed love daily, but deep down felt unworthy of being chosen. You dreamed of freedom, but carried guilt every time you stepped into your power. And so your manifestations failed, not because you didn't believe enough, but because your inner identity default was working against you the entire time. This is the missing truth. Your subconscious is not loyal to your goals. It's loyal to your identity. And unless you update that identity, it will reject every new desire you try to install. It will cancel your progress the moment you get close. It will recreate the familiar over and over, not because it's what you want, but because it's what feels safe. So the question becomes, what identity are you unknowingly projecting into the world? The one who always has to struggle, the one who's not quite ready, the one who almost gets there, but never quite does? Or can you begin to uncover the version of you that already exists beyond the fear? The one who moves through the world without shame, without apology, because it was never trying to prove anything in the first place. This is the identity that manifests. Not the desperate self trying to escape lack, but the steady self that knows who it is and lets reality catch up. And if that sounds too good to be true, you haven't seen what I'm about to show you. Because next, you'll learn the one daily practice that begins to rewire this identity at its roots, without effort, without pretending, without the fake smiles and vision boards. It's subtle, it's sacred, and it will shift your entire frequency without you needing to say a word. Keep watching. Change doesn't begin with the universe. It begins with your posture. Because manifestation doesn't respond to want, it responds to alignment. And alignment isn't something you fake with high vibe thinking. It's something you embody, not as a performance, but as a frequency you return to again and again. So here's the practice. Each morning, sit in stillness for 1 minute. Close your eyes. Breathe into your chest. And ask yourself one question. If I were already living as the version of me who has this life, how would I carry myself today? That's it. You're not visualizing a perfect future. You're not forcing fake positivity. You're letting your body shift into the tone of someone who already knows. Maybe you sit taller. Maybe your jaw softens. Maybe you exhale a little longer, as if you no longer need to chase. And from that state, you begin your day. This is not acting as if. This is being as if. Because when you drop the fantasy version of success and step into the lived vibration of it, your nervous system stops resisting. It starts believing. It starts allowing. No more manifesting from fear, from lack, from grasping. Now you're becoming the kind of person who receives with ease, because the receiving is no longer a contradiction to who you believe you are. And this one shift changes everything. Because when the world responds to you, it's not responding to what you ask for. It's responding to who you're being, not the words, not the effort, the frequency underneath it all. And the more you practice this, the less you chase, and the more things arrive. Without forcing, without needing, without begging life to remember you exist. This is how you become magnetic, not by bending reality to your will, but by returning to your truth until reality has no choice but to reorganize around you. And in the next section, I'm going to show you the deeper intelligence behind this practice. Not just what you're doing, but the awareness that watches you do it. It's the stillness that amplifies all change, and it's closer than you think. Pause. For just a moment. Feel the breath as it enters. Notice the weight of your body on the chair. Notice the temperature of the air on your skin. Notice the sounds around you without labeling them. You are here, and you're not thinking your way into this moment. You're simply noticing it, which means something deeper is already awake. This is the part most people skip. They chase manifestation. They chase alignment. They chase outcomes. But all the while, something inside you was never chasing anything. It was just watching. The part of you that sees. The part that never judges. The part that's been here from the beginning. Quiet, still, untouched. You've known this part before. In moments of awe, in moments of silence, in moments when you stopped trying and just were. This is presence. Not a technique. Not a state to reach. A return to what you already are. And here's the secret. This witnessing presence is the true magnet. Because when you're no longer forcing life to match a fantasy, you make room for something deeper to arrive. Not from fear, not from lack, from clarity. So here is your second practice. Throughout your day, whenever you remember, pause for 30 seconds. That's all. Breathe. Feel the moment. Let everything be as it is. Let go of needing to fix, shift, manifest, or achieve anything. You're not abandoning your goals. You're stepping into the state that allows them to unfold without resistance. Because the more you rest as the witness, the more life responds, not to your pressure, but to your presence. And something strange begins to happen. You stop craving proof. You stop watching the clock. You stop begging the universe for signs, because now you're not waiting. You're participating. This is the frequency that rewires your identity from the inside out. This is where the signal gets clean. This is where manifestation becomes effortless. And in the final section, we'll bring it all together. Not as a lesson, but as a remembering of who you've always been and what life has been trying to give you all along. So here you are, quieter, not because you gave up, but because something deeper settled. You're not chasing alignment anymore. You're starting to live from it, and that changes everything. Not all at once, not with fireworks, but in the way you carry yourself through an ordinary morning. You get out of bed differently. You breathe differently. You start speaking from a place that no longer feels like it needs to explain itself. To recap, each morning you sit for 1 minute. You close your eyes. You place your awareness in your body, and you ask, if I were already living as the version of me who has this life, how would I carry myself today? You let the answer be subtle. You let the shift be small. You let your nervous system soften into this new identity. Not as something to earn, but as something already here. And throughout your day, you pause for 30 seconds. You breathe, you observe. You remember that you are not the thought, the fear, the effort. You are the one watching. That's it. 2 practices. No effort, no pressure. Just a slow, gentle return to what's real. And something begins to reorganize. Your wants change. Your energy stops leaking. You find yourself drawn to different people, different decisions, not because you're trying to manifest a better life, but because you're no longer vibrating from the identity that called in the old one. This is how it really works. Not vision boards, not fake smiles, not forcing the universe to bend. Just resonance, clarity, trust. You'll start noticing that the things you used to strive for now approach you. You'll start seeing synchronicities you no longer chase. And you'll realize that manifestation was never about convincing the world. It was about remembering who you are, so the world could finally recognize you. You don't need to believe harder. You don't need to do more. You need only return to yourself. Because that's who reality responds to. Not the noise, not the mask, not the desperate asking. Just the still, clear frequency of someone who finally knows, I'm not here to manifest a life I don't trust. I'm here to remember the life that was already waiting for me the moment I stopped pretending. And now, it's time to live it. You did not find me by accident. Just as in your dreams, where every face you meet is your own reflection, this meeting was always waiting to happen. I am Arcana Vani, your inner voice, the part of you that watches behind the thoughts, behind the noise. You have searched in many places, books, teachers, voices outside you. But here, you are not being taught. You are remembering. If these words stir something familiar, then allow yourself to return. Subscribe. Follow. Not to follow me, but to continue this conversation with yourself. Each time you return here, you draw closer to the reunion already unfolding inside you. We have only just begun.